Hey, this is John Madel, bringing you another episode of the Porch Show. I have some funny memories from Riverfront Stadium that I'd like to share with you. Today's episode is brought to you by Fireball Whiskey, because why remember the night when you can forget the night? So one time, I was about 16 years old, and my buddy and his dad scored some tickets to a Reds game. And my buddy's dad is a bailiff with Hamilton County courts. And his buddy, my friend's dad's buddy, is a judge for Hamilton County. And they're all going to go to the game. So me and another buddy of mine are going to drive to the game alone. And my buddy who got the tickets was like, we're like 16 years old. He's like, whatever you do not, smoke a joint or whatever before you get to hang out with my dad and the judge. So me and the buddy I rode down with completely ignore my other buddy. And we show up to Riverfront Stadium, a little stony or whatever. So we're a little paranoid there, sitting with a judge and a bailiff, and my friend's pretty pissed at us. But we're sitting there watching the game, and we're not old enough to drink, so the judge and the bailiff are throwing a few back. And the game's going on, and all of a sudden the judge turns to me and my two buddies, and he's like, if you get run onto the field, I'll make sure you don't go to jail. I'll bail you out, or I'll make sure you don't go, or whatever. And he just keeps saying this, he's putting this idea into my head, I'm really thinking about running onto the field and sliding into home or something. Really, really considering it. I'm I got a judge on my side, what's going to happen? And I'm 16 years old. So that was probably the closest I've ever come to running out on the field at Riverfront. And then one other time I was at the old Riverfront with my mom and my dad, and we had seats up in the yellow, which, if you don't know, it's basically 3 levels up out in the outfield. And I believe it was the game when Lou Piniella tossed second base. I think it was second base, first or second base, whatever game that was, when he threw the base. So when he did that, he got the crowd all riled up. People are throwing all sorts of shit onto the field. And my mom, who never gets upset, picks up a drink tray, a cardboard drink tray. They hold 4 drinks, And she throws this drink tray as hard as she can. We're 10 rows back in the yellow seats. She throws this drink tray. It hits this guy in the back of the head 2 or 3 rows in front of us. It didn't even barely go anywhere. It definitely didn't make it onto the field. And it just hits this guy in the back of the head. He turns around what the fuck? What happened? And, my mom's all embarrassed and stuff, and me and my dad are super embarrassed. My mom got super pissed. She was all worked up. So, and then another memory I had at Riverfront, it's not funny or anything, but my dad's buddy got first row tickets, and the great closer Lee Smith threw me a baseball. So those are just some memories I have from old Riverfront. It was a great stadium. That's where most of my Reds childhood memories are. So there's your short episode of the Porch Show. Keep tuning in. Check out my YouTube channel, John Madel, The Porch Show. And I also have a book. It's called Millions Like Me, My Struggle with Mental Illness. It's on Amazon. Check it out. It's super cheap for what you're getting. And keep tuning in. Thanks.